Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mario Price, Director of Coaching Education here at the AFCA. A few years ago, we did an article on padding. In that article, we padded the Super Bowl, and we broke down what every last player on the field was supposed to do. We did it again this year, and there were a few things that really stood out to us as far as the motion goes in pre-snap. With our friends at Just Play, we decided to diagram up a couple of these plays and break them down with you. Let's dive in. All right, on this first clip here, very simple. We just want to take some of the motions from the game and just kind of highlight some of the things that it makes the defense do, how they have to adjust to the motion. Motion is nothing that's revolutionary by any means, but I think the Chiefs mainly were very intentional, as most of us know, with how they used it. So here on the first play, just a simple motion from the Y position, just motions across the ball. We get a play action, and the tight end would actually work back across the ball. I grabbed this play because I thought it was just interesting how committed the defense was to keeping like the Sam with the tight end and the will away from the strength. Excuse me. So just pretty interesting there. Let's watch the clip. Our clip here starts just a little late, unfortunately, so we're not able to see the tight end there, that kind of off position, that home position before the motion begins. But what you can see is the backers prior to this were actually spread out kind of in that typical backer location with tight end on each side. And with the motion, you see number 43, number 29 actually make a true switch there, just to draw back in the zone. And thought that was pretty interesting. That they, like I said, they were so committed to that, and so obviously they had a game plan to maybe keep 29 or whatever that position is in the same locality as Travis Kelce. Excuse me. But once again, just through the zone, just a nice little play action play here. Allow for him to get behind the back in front of the safety. Safety does slip there in the back, but able to convert a first down here. And once again, emotion wasn't that influential on how everything plays out. I just thought it was interesting pre-snap, how these guys have to, they're forced to communicate, forced to switch, potentially forced to get them out of position there. All right, here on the second clip, once again, nothing revolutionary, just a jet motion from what we deem the H. I'm sure they have some different lingo on who's who in the zoo, but just a jet motion sprinting across the split zone look. And one of the things that I loved about this was that hesitancy it creates in the backers that allows for the double teams that are heading up to the backers time to get there and have great angles on it, right? So like I said, nothing but an inside zone with the jet motion across. Let's watch it on film. All right, so we're in a three ball look with the tight end off, and we are going to bring this guy over in the jet motion. It's man coverage, so the guy is going to sprint across with him. But more than anything, obviously being able to pull that guy from that side to the other. That happens if you just pre-align there. But once again, just the influence on the backers, just watching that jet motion coming across, the quick check of the feet, just allows a little bit more time. I mean, not much for the center, all right, to make it up to that Mike backer. All right, the will. Backer fits are so crazy these days. Sometimes I don't know exactly how they're supposed to fit on this, but just waiting for that jet motion really puts him a gap behind, all right? And he's just nowhere near being able to make the play even unblocked. So once again, just simply adding the jet motion to the run. Simple split zone look. Great run by the back. Just want to key in there on number 23, right? Just watch his eyes. He's really trying to process that jet motion. All right, just enough for him to check his feet, check. And that allows for number 52, the center, to get all the way across on that outside shoulder there, right? Depending on where that center probably lines up on that backer. Back has a two-way go. So bounce it outside. Great game. All right, so now the first two plays, you've seen a typical motion, just bringing one guy from one side of the ball to the other, just been the tight end, motion from one Y on the left side to that Y location on the right side, the jet motion, and now you have a look at the short motion, right, where Getting that motion, kind of that lackadaisical feel, just basically trying to get the defensive backs to communicate a little bit, creating a stack of looks, and IO, I got him, you got him. However, they break down that communication, just trying to get those guys talking and really trying to get leverage. That's one of the things I really liked here, how they were able to get the strong safety to roll up and take Travis on the out and up. Once again, just creating that short motion or, lining up and stack. Are you going to get the same results here? I just think the motion just adds another twist to it. Let's go ahead and watch it on film. So now we're checking a clip out here. You're seeing a lot of people hop into stack formations and initially just run out and line up into it, there's nothing wrong with that, but just creating a short motion to quickly add a stack formation into your playbook, even if you don't have it, is an easy way. I actually spent time on a staff where we didn't have a formation call to actually line people up and stack, but we would do the same exact short motion and run, whip dig and a bunch of different combinations to it. So as you can see right now, you got pretty loose coverage. I know the corner there is starting to head in because he does see Travis heading in for the motion. But short motion brings the safety down almost 10 yards to take the tight end, softens up the corner, and then also, once again, just gives you a little bit of leverage and green grass to work with on the outside. Not really diving in on technique, on routes and anything like that. Obviously, the tight end is going to be extremely physical, getting the hands off, getting that leverage, getting that DB out of balance. The receiver, the X, or excuse me, the Z or whatever you're calling out receivers, running the post, clear everything out, and just giving them a ton of room to work over the top of this 1/3 of the field almost. This is about as easy as it gets from a quarterback perspective. Clean box, able to throw and catch there. Nice little play design using short motion. Can't see much from the end zone here, but for pass pro guys, and for our QB guys, the technique is always interesting from Mahomes. But once again, great ball, great catch. All right, looking at the next motion, nothing special with the motion particular, and to be honest, nothing so far out the norm of what the motion did. I do think this what we call the X here, motion and across, does hold I think it's the corner. I forgot how this play breaks down. I'm pretty sure it's the corner, but it holds him down that flat location pretty good and allows for the tight end to look like he's going to run an over route, sticks his foot in the ground, and kind of returns, and he's underneath the safety over the top of the under coverage, and it's a nice little play here. But really love the play design more than anything. I've seen a lot of people run some variations of running the play action and bringing it back, bringing the tight end over on a drag. Just really loved how this played out. Let's check it out. So you're able to kind of recreate this backfield a little bit with the jet motion by allowing for that receiver to be the guy that's running like a 19, some type of outside zone to get that quick influence. If you look at the backers, safeties, everybody takes a few chops over there to their right, following the jet sweep. You're able to let your back, number one here in the backfield, come across and be your additional protection, help seal that edge, to allow time for the tight end to come across here, middle of the field, looks like a drag, sticks his foot in the ground, and reverse. And I had it wrong before we started. It's the corner is the deep third here, or he's running deep here, and so your outside backer is actually going to be who gets held by the jet motion, allowing for you to clear out up top with the corner. Let the jet motion hold that flat zone defender down, and let Travis get right open in this green grass. Once again, more than anything, the motion helps you be able to get your tight end out, helps you be able to let your other tight end protect. But more than anything, I just love this play design. Just been able to, I'm sure those guys have ran enough drag routes to allow for that tight end to stick his foot in the ground and get back around, check out the end zone. I mean, I've seen this a few times before. I'm sure we all have. Just thought it was beautifully designed. Did a really good job of knowing what these guys will be in to be able to get a nice throw and catch here. Next play here, we got empty look. We're going to have a short motion and just have a very quick now screen. The offensive line are going to sprint out. I don't know if this thing could potentially go underneath and kind of turn into that tunnel type screen. I mean, you see the X receiver, who we deem the X receiver, is trying to gain leverage and seal that outside to put the back one-on-one with the corner. And that's what ends up how to play. That ends up how the play plays out. Very interesting here. Looked like they were going tempo based off the film. Your Y and Z are looking over for a call. But once the ball is snapped, they don't do anything. So I'm not so sure. This is kind of like, you've seen some teams do that in the past. They're on some of the bubble screens and now screens where you throw it to one side of the field, the other side literally doesn't do anything. They don't waste any breath, chasing down us, trying to convoy safety or anything like that. And so we'll watch the film. I'll be curious what your thoughts are, if that's a tactic any of you guys do. If you know you're going to have a quick screen to the other side, and your block probably won't play much of a factor into the outcome of the play. If you leave your guys standing there, see if you can get the same from the defense. So let's check it out. So short motion here. I would be curious to see, because this is an early ball, early snap, but just enough to get the corner moving, get those guys turn around talking to each other a little bit. The guy over your number 2 receiver that's on the ball, he never even gets set. Like I said, I believe this is some type of tempo call. But if he gets that motion a little further, I'd be curious if he gets inside leverage and makes this kind of seal block even easier for number 11. But anyways, he motions, gets a little depth, gets the ball now, and he's north and south, and able to turn this second and 10 into a third down, and very manageable, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, depending on where the ref spots the ball. And once again, just looking up top, it's just that demeanor from the tight end, 87, doesn't look like he's in a major sense of urgency of figuring out if there's a true play or not. And, if you, in the grand scheme of things, if you look at the corner and safety, those guys kind of responsible for them in coverage, they react to how those guys are playing the game. They're not moving either. So interesting tactic. Like I said, I've seen that over the last decade, not very often, but every now and again, you'll see a quick screen on one side where your receivers on the opposite side literally just don't move. And it does hold down those safeties at times. And just curious if everybody's using those tactics. Not much to see here from the end zone view, but we will take a look at these linemen getting out of there. Looks like potentially you could, if that guy were to stick his foot in the ground, he could get under this like a tunnel screen. But from the way he catches it, where that receiver goes, I think they're trying to get this ball outside regardless. So as I was going through this, I felt like Kansas City did a really good job. Obviously, 2 of the more notable plays. I think we'll see a lot more people running. The 2 plays they scored on in the red zone. We'll look at those here in a sec. They did a really good job of using the motion to their advantage. Now the Eagles did a decent amount of motion. Some of the plays just weren't as big. They tried to get some motion with some shallow cross concepts, with some mesh concepts, and just plays didn't really break out. So I didn't grab those, but this is the one clip I did grab from the Eagles. I love the way this played out. This was on the 5-yard line, and this was a walk-in touchdown for the quarterback. Obviously these guys, you play in a game like the Super Bowl, you play any game, they're going to watch a ton of film. They're going to be well prepared for the opponent, and clearly they had a understanding of what exact coverage they were going to get from 5, how exactly everything was going to play out with motion, the blitz structure. Here on this call, I'm pretty sure you're probably going to get a saw blitz. Sam and Will both coming, and then if the back were to run a swing route, then the Will would peel and run with them. So they skipped the peel process, it seems like, and just sent the guy in motion, which consequently pulls the Will off and walks the mic up to be that edge player on the left side, and then pull the center, kick him out, and then, like I said, it's a walk-in touchdown. So super impressed. We'll run through this one really quick. Just see it from the sideline view, get a better view from the end zone here. Always easy, you always love the plays that, are easy touchdowns, especially when that field starts to shrink in that low red zone. you start getting into that goal line area. But you have the I believe he lines up in the 3 technique from the end on the top, and call him a 4-eye. But that motion comes across, forces the backer up, easy kick. I mean, like I said, just a walk-in touchdown. We get a lot more out of this from the end zone. But obviously, your backer has to come over and now be the new edge player. You don't have anybody over the top of this formation. Get the down, kick, walk in. So, like I said, the Eagles were a little bit more traditional in their motion. They ran a few more plays like this out in the open field where the back were to motion out, and they would run some type of 2-man concept, create a three kind of a 3-by with the back being the flat guy, or be able to hold the defense down, try to get behind them. But this one right here was definitely my favorite, and obviously results in the touchdown. All right, here we go. We're back looking at the Chiefs on offense. Once again, a short motion from tight end here. Relatively common concept here, just running a little spot route by your Z, dig route or basic, whatever you guys call it, there from your wild and short motion, and then the arrow flat route from your back, and then the little 5-yard out and POR, forced outside release from your outside receiver there. Let's check this out on film. All right, here we go. Let's check the clip out here. Like I said, nothing super special. What I really liked about this clip is that it creates a bunch trips, which I used to be huge on. Back when I was coaching, worked with some coordinators that created a lot of this like bunch trips out of having a back in the backfield, a tight end, or a slot receiver splitting the ball, and then having a short motion to create just a condensed look. And you'll kind of see what it does to the guys that are covering these guys in man coverage here, the corner safety and the backer. You kind of see how they have to navigate and communicate, and essentially you kind of see how the tight end gets open here. He begins a short motion. Once again, just I love it how everybody puts their own little flavor on how they do the short motion. But Kelsey just kind of walks down, and now if you watch the backer, safety, and corner here, they just have to do a really good job of communicating and kind of navigating through the 2 vertical routes from the backer, just trying to get over to cover your arrow route. And then Kelsey's able to create great leverage here as they're going through. No collision here, but like I said, once again, I've done a lot of this in my past. I've seen these backers and corners and safeties run smack dead in each other, and you got guys popping scot free. This plays out decently. I mean, but right there, as Kelsey's trying to continue to get vertical, you're seeing number 9 running his spot route here. He's actually open for a split second, but Mahomes is looking, kind of reading his other side, steps up in the pocket. At this point in time, 23 is, although just covering a dig route, kind of trying to navigate the trips. At that point in time, he's kind of lost his balance and has let Kelsey free for a first down. Once again, not much to see here from the backfield. Center does a relatively good job of holding up. He steps up in the pocket, puts himself in that position a little bit, but he's crafty enough to make the throw. Kelsey's athletic enough to get down, make the catch. All right, looking at the next clip, this is on the goal line. Another touchdown for these guys, and the motion. I think they probably score here regardless, with or without the motion. But I think the motion makes this a lot easier of a touchdown. The Z is going to sprint back across, and there's just a ton of communication, happening on the backside with guys sprinting across and sprinting back, and ultimately leaving kind of a void for that back to kind of walk straight into the end zone. So once again, nothing revolutionary here, but just adding a little eye candy to a simple run here. Allowing for this counter to be a walk-in. No question what's going to go down here. They're going to run the ball, but just on the eye candy here. Number 24 receiver for the Chiefs, just with the return motion, sprints across the formation. You see the communication moving both the safety and the corner across. As he returns, the number 22 comes across. He pushes number 21. He motions back across. He pushes them back. Just a lot of communication there on the back end. And when it's all said and done, it's just hat for hats. Guys are a little out of position. You watch number 22 here trying to sprint back, sticks foot in the ground, come trying to find a place to fit. Just not enough room to react. Get this end zone look here. I don't think much changes from the lineman's perspective. They're going to block what shows up here. But once again, if you just kind of fixate yourself there on looking at the back end of this thing, just the reaction of the motion, guys trying to get positioned, guys trying to communicate, guys trying to take responsibility, and then all of a sudden the play's coming right downhill at you fast. And at this level, it is difficult to it is a difficult thing to stop guys on that position of the field, but the motion definitely does help out. Split backfield, back on each side there, and they take the back on the right, send them in a swing motion, and they run a beautiful play here. A lot of teams kind of have this in their package when they get that two-back look to be able to run inside zone to the right, flip it out to the back on a swing route. And as they motion out, that back gives that posture. And what I loved is the motion took the nickel, as what we identify him here on the field, and it kicks him to the outside of the Z. So he kind of has this leverage to where if he wants to block him, he'd have to run at him. And he wants to maintain outside leverage, so he continues to widen the corner. I believe is going to drop back into a cover 3 or a quarters look. So he's going to be deep, and it's going to leave this nice little void. This was one of my favorite plays of the Super Bowl right here. Just watching everything kind of develop. Let's watch the clip here. Kind of got the split backfield, bring the motion around, and as I mentioned there on the just play, draw up of the play, that motion is just enough to change the leverage of that nickel player. He winds out, and as soon as Mahomes gives the not a very convincing pump, number 19 kind of gives a not very convincing catching motion. Number 9 is heading towards him. Everything is telling him that he needs to pull the trigger and get downhill. And just that simple switch of the leverage was just enough for number 9 to sell the block, turn his head, find that sweet hole, get in that sweet spot while that corner was bailing, and get the first down. Nice little gain of 12, 13 yards there on the play. Really love this play design. Like I said, one of my favorite plays of the Super Bowl. Just needing 5 yards. So the swing is a very viable play here. See both these guys definitely pull the trigger on it, be able to convert, get the ball close to the end zone. Real quick from the end zone, I don't think it's much to see here. Oh, well, I guess you can see that tight end running free there. Might have been a good might have been something good to come back to down the road, the way he came out. But once again, a great play design. Not even really paying attention to this tight end. I believe he gives a nice little jab, and looks like number 43 winds with the back coming across the block, and he ends up being wide open. All right, and I think this was definitely one of those things that I feel like a lot of coaches across the country probably took away from the Super Bowl. And, I actually saw this a few times at the collegiate high school level over the last 3 or 4 years, like not a lot, but enough for me to notice this play and just think how genius it was to create that jet motion look, put that corner safety, that's in man, kind of in a panic where they either going to have to sprint across the formation and respect the fact that this guy's either going to get the jet sweep, the guy's going to run an arrow route on the other side of the field. And so you have this sense of urgency where you have to sprint across the ball or pass it off. And still there's this communication where I'm sprinting to go cover the number 2 now, and I got to communicate to, in this case, the strong safety, that you need to be sprinting across the bump to the high safety, and the high safety needs to be ready to sprint across, kind of that domino effect. And so I've been intrigued with this last few years, but just seeing it show up 2 times in the Super Bowl, I think was enough for me to believe I'd see quite a bit of it in at the collegiate and high school level moving forward. But let's watch it on film. And, you know, simple play call, right? This is nothing but a split zone, RPO, and I think they're just trying to gauge on what's going to happen with the pass off or you know, or the carry on the motion, and they flip it out there. But let's watch it on film real fast. All right, so very clearly man coverage here. See the motion start, and I think everything, you know, because this is technically a short motion, right? This is the you know, a couple plays earlier we had the short motion. I kind of mentioned how slow and kind of lackadaisical they go into the motion. All right, but him flipping his hips and getting that sprint posture definitely does put them in a communication mode. You know, and I think you have a major kind of bust here regardless, because it looks like both the corner and the safety are miscommunicate on, you know, how they're going to pass it off. And so it looks like the corner is trying to communicate to the safety that he needs to roll down. He's going to go play high safety, and number 23 is also sprinting up to go play the high safety. So, you know, you watch this play, you actually have both guys open, both the tight end and number 19. But once again, just very, very, very easy play based off these guys knowing kind of how they're going to react to this motion. And, you know, it'll be interesting, because I think this does put a little pressure on defensive guys, because when you get that speed motion, you do have to react, and it has to be quickly. But obviously, they're going to have to kind of rethink how they pass this off, how, you know, who they leave at home, all that good stuff. So, anyways, you had both the tight end and receiver here. I mean, it doesn't get much easier than this. I think Super Bowl third down really needed, and be able to get a touchdown like that is awesome. Great play design. Watch it from the end zone here. Like I said, running the inside zone here. Actually kind of looking at how this mesh would have played out. Maybe the quarterback said something to the back that allowed him to know he needs to get out the way, because he gets up there kind of fast, and it almost looks like the tight end in the back might have some type of collision. But anywho, flips it out, easy throw and catch. All right, so last play here. Pretty much the same thing with the short motion, you know, trying to present that jet look, seeing the reaction from the defense, seeing if we can toss the ball out. The interesting thing here is they don't have the RPO on, so there's no split zone happening from the backfield. You do have kind of receivers running, you know, don't know exactly what they were running, but kind of running pseudo slants, and then the tight end chips and is going to come across underneath. But I mean, all that's moot, because on the motion, you kind of have the same deal where guys are both sprinting in, you know, trying to take care of the jet sweep. 6 foot in the ground, makes a catch. Let's watch this here. So see both A gaps are open, so you probably can anticipate some type of pressure. You definitely get the Mickey look here. You can expect man coverage, and you know, this defensive look kind of looks like that goal line 7, where those guys are going to stand and picket fence the goal line. But, you know, seeing both A gaps, obviously seeing the guy react so strongly to the motion, definitely allows for this to be, you know, another walk-in touchdown and be easy for Mahomes to kind of figure out. Interesting thing here was, I mean, this receiver that comes in on short motion gets pretty dang close to the defensive end. So he really gets down in there to the point where, you know, the safety sprinting across this deal, really expecting for him to show up. And once again, I don't, you know, to be on the goal line, to throw a short throw like that, you know, I don't think I've ever seen a play where there's nobody within the hash of them. I mean, that's, once again, well designed. Definitely the play that everybody's going to walk off thinking about adding to the playbook. And if you do any type of motion, I don't see why you wouldn't have this to be able to kind of counteract, you know, somebody that can come across and cover you on the arrow route, somebody that can come across and make the tackle on the jet sweep. This just keeps people honest, and you know, be something that defenses have to figure out here. Let's get a quick look from the end zone. Shouldn't be much to see here. They do a good job protecting everything. Chip from the tight end. Like I said, he comes across. All that doesn't matter, right? Throw and catch. Put the ball in the end zone. Oh, hopefully you guys took something from it. Once again, I know most of this stuff, probably the last two plays were one of the more interesting things that we've all seen this season. But hopefully you take something away from, the power of motion, the power of creating stacks, the power of creating short motion and sprint motion, all that kind of stuff. And hopefully you can add something to your playbook defensively. You can look and see how you got to react to this stuff. Maybe think about some of the things offensively guys are trying to get done. But just want to give a special shout out to our friends over at Just Play for allowing for us to diagram these plays up. Super simple, super easy, and great addition to be able to watch the film and kind of get a great idea of what's going on. Until next time, see you.